So one way to elevate yourself as a chef and a baker at home is to make your own sweet and savory flavored butters. It is so simple to make. I'm going to show you loads of different variations, and I'm using the base of my homemade butter to make these. My homemade butter online has millions of views, so you're not going to want to miss this video. So now we're going to make my famous butter recipe. It is so simple. What we need is a lot of cream and a food processor. You can try and do this by a stand mixer also, and that might work. Food processor, I find, just like makes it happen so much faster. So in goes our cream. Now for this, you want cream that is high in fat content. So you're talking something, you know, a minimum of 36%. So really like the best whipping cream you can get. You need it to be really fatty, because also fat equals flavor. It will yield you more butter and it will give you even more flavor. Now on with our lid. Okay, so here's what's going to happen now. Once we start this, your cream's going to go through a few different stages. It's going to pulse for a few minutes and become like lovely soft whipping cream. But we're not going to stop there. We're going to keep on pulsing it until it starts to separate and it starts to sound wet. And that's when you know you're on the right track. You'll see the curds separate from the whey. This is exactly what we're looking for. This is going to take a few minutes. I'm going to show you as the stages go along of what you're looking for. Okay, so let's see what's going on underneath here. This is perfect. So it's been whipping for around 2 minutes or so, maybe a little bit longer. And we have some beautifully whipped cream. Gorgeous. Usually this is exactly what you're looking for on any other given day, but not today. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna put back on our lid and we're gonna continue blending. And what we're gonna end up with is this cream separating, and we're going to get our butter out of that. So hold your nerve, keep on going. I'm going to stop and let you see what it looks like when that happens. So just by listening to this right now, and I can see down this little hole, is that our cream is starting to separate and starting to get a little bit liquidy. You can hear the liquid kind of splashing around in there. So we're on the right track. We're not there yet. We have to keep on going. So just listening to the machine and looking down here, I can tell that now we have butter. Our liquid has separated. It's kind of splashing up against the side of the machine, and I can see the curds. But the very last thing that we're going to do is I have a little bit of ice water in here, and we're just going to splash this in. And what this does is helps the kind of like the fat, the butter to all clump together and to kind of stay away from the liquid. Just a little bit, a few tablespoons. You just mix it around. And that is our butter. Perfect. I open up the lid and a huge, big chunk of homemade butter. I love it. And it's like golden brown because I use good quality cream. So that's really important. The better cream you use, the better butter you will get in the end. So gorgeous. Now look at that. You can see all our big curds. And then over here, see all that liquid? That's the amount of liquid that you should have left over. If you only have a small bit of liquid, keep on blending that butter. It needs to expel more. So now here's what we do. Bring in a bowl lined with a sieve. We're going to pour away our whey. Pour away our whey. And then make sure you hang on to that liquid because that can be used in baking. You don't want to waste any of this process because it's not cheap to make butter from cream. So you can use that in baking, in buttermilk biscuits, in pancakes, waffles, whatever you like. You can use it in so many things. It can be even used as a marinade for meats. Okay, lovely. So what you want to do now is go in with your nice clean hands. And all we're going to do is just try and get as much liquid out of that butter as possible. You could also do this step in a cheesecloth just to make sure you get out as much liquid as possible. I think when it has less liquid in it, it keeps it fresher. Look at that. This is like a baker's gold. It really is incredible when I think about it, how easy it is to take a little bit of cream and make your own homemade butter. Now this is around 3/4 of a pound of butter, so this is a lot of butter. What we're going to do here though is we're not going to stop. We are going to take this butter and I'm going to show you how you can make different flavors of butter, both sweet and savory. So for each of these flavored butters, we're going to start out with 225 grams of butter, which is 2 sticks. So the first one we're going to make is a lovely sun-dried tomato butter. So here I have some sun-dried tomatoes and I'm going to chop them up really fine. Then I'm going to add in a little bit of herb, which is thyme, and chop that up really well too. I'm going to add these into my butter. I also have some crushed garlic here that I'm going to toss in, and a little bit of lemon juice for brightness. And then just mix all these ingredients together. I love to use this butter on things like pasta or even when I bake fish. It's absolutely perfect for those kinds of meals. Okay, so this looks great. Now I want you to stay tuned to the end of the video where I'm going to show you some really good tips about storing and freezing this butter. Our next flavored butter is a sweet one and one of my favorites. It is maple pecan butter. It's very simple. Chop up some toasted pecans. Now make sure that they're toasted because that's when the flavor and the texture is so much better and nuttier. Chop them up nice and fine. And then add them into your butter with your maple syrup, good quality maple syrup, and then a little bit of salt, and then mix it all together. This butter is perfect to pair with pancakes or waffles and even baked scones. Okay, so now we're going to do another savory one that's a little bit salty and creamy at the same time. It is blue cheese butter. So here I have a block of blue cheese. This one is one of my favorites because it's really creamy and a little bit salty, so it's perfect to add into butter. It's probably best to buy a little block than it is to buy the crumbled up ones already. Chop it up nice and small. Some big chunks are totally fine in there. And then add it to your room temperature butter. I'm adding a little bit of salt on top of this one because my cheese is already a bit salty. And then just mix it all together. This butter is perfect for putting on top of a burger or a steak as it's resting. It also goes really well on toast. So our next flavor is another sweet one, and I think it's really going to pique your interest. It is chocolate butter. So here I have everything I need. I have my butter, I've got some cooled melted bittersweet chocolate, cocoa powder, powdered sugar, and a little bit of salt. And all we're going to do is just add in these ingredients, the chocolate first, and then just give it a good mix around until that's really well combined. You want to do this first step of mixing the chocolate and butter in quickly so the chocolate doesn't set on the butter. And then after that, you can add in your powdered sugar and your cocoa powder and your little bit of salt. And then just give it a mix until it all comes together. This is such a lovely, fun butter, and I found with Georgie, he absolutely loves it. It is great on pancakes, on toast, on bagels, and even things like on top of oatmeal. So to close our favors out, I picked one to finish with that has a real kick. We're gonna make Chipotle butter. For this butter, you're going to want to chop up some Chipotle chilies. You can find them in adobo sauce in the supermarket. Just chop them up really nice and fine. Add it into your softened butter, a little bit of lime juice, and a smidge of salt. And then just mix this all together. This butter is amazing if you put it on fish while you're roasting it. Also, I like to put a big spoonful of it into my pot of water when I'm boiling my rice. So we've got a really good mix of both sweet and savory here. I'm going to show you a trick that I learned in kitchens many years ago, which is how you can roll these up really tight for storage. So I'm going to show you the easiest trick for rolling your own butter. I have 2 pieces of cling wrap right here, nice and big ones. I'm going to put my butter close to me, then pick up the cling wrap, fold it over, and start to create a log. Roll it up nice and tight and try and get it as even as possible. Now this is the pro chef secret tip. Pinch the ends and then use the traction on your countertop to get your roll to form into a tight cylinder, almost like a sausage. By doing this, it'll get rid of any air bubbles and it will give you a lovely thick roll of butter ready to be sliced. So now label your butter so you remember what they are, and we're going to place them in the fridge until they set for around 2 to 3 hours. These will last for weeks in your fridge, but if you want to make them last even longer, what I like to do is unroll a log, I slice it into nice thick chunks, I put it in a baggie, and then I pop these in the freezer. Then you have your own homemade butter. Take a little slice or two whenever you want it, and it lasts for months. So now if you thought that the flavored butters we just made were awesome, I have all of these on the website waiting for you. We've got strawberry butter, lemon and dill, honey and orange over here, a Creole butter, so many different sweet and savories. Head over to biggerbolderbaking.com to check them out.